Welcome to the UBC Okanagan Master of Data Science Alumni and Program Director Q&A virtual information session. My name is Khalad Hasan, and I'm an Associate Professor of Computer Science at UBC Okanagan. I also serve as one of the co-director for the Master of Data Science program. Today, we are excited to have you here, and we look forward to sharing program-related different informations with you. Before we started, I would like to acknowledge that UBC Okanagan is situated in the territory of Silks Okanagan Nation and their people. I would also like to acknowledge that you are joining us today from many places, near and far, and acknowledge the traditional owners and caretakers of those lands. We have divided our session today into two parts. Our first part is the alumni session. For this session, we have Jen from the most recent MDS graduating cohort who will share her experience studying Master of Data Science program at UBC Okanagan campus. In this part, I will go through a set of questions that is submitted during the registration. Please note that due to time constraint, I will only focus on the most frequently asked questions. We also encourage you to ask our guest any question about their experience in the program through the Q&A chat functionalities on the bottom of the screen. After the first part, we'll transition into the Program Director Q&A session where the MDS Okanagan team will address audience questions about the program. Please note that we have other upcoming events, including live sessions with the MDS Okanagan team, where you will have opportunities to ask questions about the program and admissions. Please keep an eye on the UBC MDS Data Science website for the dates and event details. Now, I'd like to introduce our guest, Jen. As I mentioned before, she completed the MDS program early this year. Jen, could you please introduce yourself and give an overview of your background before entering the Master of Data Science program?
Sure. Thanks, Callan. I'm Jane, and I graduated from the UBCO MDS program in 2025, and I'm currently working as a data scientist consulting for a private equity firm in Toronto. Before my master's, I had just graduated from biomedical engineering at the University of Waterloo, and I had completed 6 co-op terms during my undergrad across fields including research, financial services, and medical devices. And through my research experience, I discovered that I really enjoyed data science, and so I wanted to pivot from engineering into data science as a career, and that's why I decided to pursue my master's to gain more foundational knowledge and hands-on experience.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'm going to start with our first question, which is why did you decided to pursue the Master of Data Science program, and what led you to choose it over a research-focused master's program?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I originally was studying engineering and I wanted to pivot into the data science industry. And by the time my undergrad was coming to an end, I felt that with the experience I had at the time, it would have been more difficult to compete in the job market, especially with my only degree being in biomedical engineering. And I knew I wanted to work in industry as soon as possible. So that's why I was prioritizing course-based master's degrees over research-based. And so I chose MDS at UBC specifically. So it was my first choice for 3 reasons. Firstly, I would say the capstone project I was most interested in. So in my engineering experience, I had those 6 co-op experiences, and so I know firsthand that hands-on industry experience is really, really valuable. And even though the capstone project within MDS is not like a structured internship or co-op program, you can definitely treat it like one, and you get a lot out of it. Um, Secondly, I think the curriculum really appealed to me. So across the 24 courses, you cover a lot of valuable and practical material, including statistical foundations, software development, classical and advanced machine learning techniques. And so I was really interested in getting that breadth in skill and understanding. And I would say the last big reason is definitely the time frame being 10 months accelerated since, I was aiming to work in industry as soon as possible. So
Yeah,
those are my
like I do.
reasons.
Yeah, I do like completely agree with you. Like as you mentioned, it's kind of MDS is a 10-month accelerated program, which basically sets apart from the traditional 2-year thesis-based master's program. And we specifically designed the program in as an accelerated program, as it allows users to complete their studies in a short time frame while gaining the necessary knowledges for the key areas in the data science. Okay. Um, my next question is, what part of the program did you find most challenging?
Yeah, I would say, it being a 10-month accelerated program, it is a bit of a quick pace to keep up with. I would say in particular, the second half of the program, the courses become more project oriented. So you'll find yourself juggling multiple group projects at once. Definitely a lot of effort goes in there to coordinating work with your team members, managing time and meeting deadlines across those different teams. Yeah, that was definitely a new and kind of challenging thing for me, but a lot of valuable skills to learn, of course, and they're transferable to the workplace as well.
Yeah, thank you for the answer. Yes, we also see that the students in the MDS program, they have different backgrounds, and we actually design the program in such a way so that everyone can actually have a comparable level of understanding and expertise after completing certain number of courses. Like for instance, the initial courses are specifically structured to provide strong foundational knowledge of the necessary data science topic. And then we move to the core courses, like as you mentioned, different projects, hands-on projects, and applied learning experience, so that we can support the student to build both theoretical understanding and practical expertise. Okay. My next question related to the pace and intensity of the program. So, as you know, the it's a 10-month accelerated program, and in 10 months, there are 24 one-credit courses along with a capstone project. So my question is, could you please share your experience with the program pace and workload compared to your undergraduate studies? Did you find it manageable?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, it kind of surprised me the pace, and like having to stay on top of my schedule to keep up with things, but you definitely do get used to it. And I would say, I did find it manageable, maybe because I was fresh out of my undergrad, so I was pretty used to, studying and, um, sometimes I thought it was a little bit easier than undergrad. I've never had to stay up too late for MDS, but it definitely does get busier at times, and it challenges you to manage your time effectively and balance your personal needs with your academic responsibilities. And I would also say I might not be like a universal representation for everyone's experience. For myself, I was familiar with a good amount of concepts beforehand, which probably made it a little easier. But when I look at my classmates, I think everyone did a good job of keeping up, regardless of how much experience you had coming in.
Okay, wonderful. It's very nice to hear your experience with the pace and intensity. My next question is about managing time to do a part-time job during the program. Specifically, did you manage to work a part-time job while completing the program? If so, how did you balance your work responsibilities with the coursework and projects, and what strategies help you to stay on track?
Yeah, I personally didn't work full time, and I think I probably would have found it difficult. I was tr trying to balance a lot at the time. Although I did have some classmates who did have a part-time job and were able to stay on top of everything. I think for those who did, they were doing like 1 day part-time out of the week, and the course um, structure is set up so that you have classes from Monday through Thursday. So my classmate would have that Friday be their part-time workday. So yeah, I would say everyone's situation is different. Like as long as you have the work ethic and good time management is definitely possible. And I would say time blocking, like if I had to suggest any strategy, like time blocking is something that's really effective for me to set aside specific hours each week for all the tasks that I have to stay organized.
Yeah, I do completely agree with you. It's kind of more on the time management and dedicated necessary time to projects, courses, and other like different activities and so on. I'm going to move to the next question, which is given that this is a graduate level program, do students need to have a strong background in data science before enrolling?
Yeah, I would say I think beyond the prerequisites for the program, I don't think it's necessary to have a strong background in data science before starting the program. As long as you're motivated to learn, I think like anyone can keep up, and I'm sure people who are applying for this are applying because you've had some exposure to data analytics or statistics or something adjacent that will be helpful for you. Um, of course, things might be a little bit easier if you do have more relevant background, but so many of my classmates came in with really diverse backgrounds and generally did very well.
Yeah, like I do completely agree with you. The MDS curriculum is carefully designed to support students from a wide range of background or from different disciplines, including those who may not have like strong background in data science. And also for the admission requirement, we have some prerequisite courses which is listed on the program website. And as long as students meet the prerequisite courses and other admission criteria, they are eligible to apply. So these prerequisite courses help us to ensure that all the applicants they have essential knowledge and preparations to start the program. So based on our past experience, many students have excelled in the program and succeed in their career regardless their prior background. Um, Now, my next question is on how students can prepare themselves before starting the program. So, more specifically, the question is what preparation would you recommend for incoming students? Should they prioritize learning certain concepts or programming language?
Um, I would say, um, it's not completely necessary, of course, but if you do have the chance, I would say the Python and R programming courses move quite fast. And so if you've never worked with it before, it would probably help to brush up on those beforehand. And then I would say for myself personally, um, in my engineering education, we didn't do a lot of stats. So for me, that was a little more effort to get up to speed with what was being taught in the program. So if that's something that you would want to catch up on, then maybe stats as well.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, like as I mentioned before, like the program is designed to bring all the students in the same level, regardless their background. Because we saw in the past, like students are coming from a variety of background, variety of disciplines, and so on. However, this is a 10-month accelerated program, so any preparation students take before starting the program can help them to enhance their chance of success here. Like for example. Like becoming familiar with key data science concepts, Python, R, or like studying relevant topic beforehand can provide a strong foundation, make it easier to navigate the coursework and projects that we have in our program. Now I'm going to move to the next questions. We received some question about the instructional environment and student instructor interaction. So the question is, how supportive are the instructor when students face challenges with the course materials or assignments? Are they approachable and accessible?
Yeah, I think like most of my classmates would probably agree that the instructors are all very supportive, very receptive to questions during class, after class, during labs or office hours, and answering emails. I would say the same with the TAs, and I've always had very positive takeaways from the profs. So um, I would definitely say the quality of teaching and the level of support is very high among the instructors.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, all the instructors in the program, they are very committed to students' success and they are very passionate about guiding them in their like future career development as well. Our goal is to provide students with the necessary skills they need to excel in their data science field. We also receive questions about the typical day in life of an MDS student. Jen, could you please walk us through a typical week in the program, including workload? Though you mentioned it a little bit in
Mhm.
earlier questions, and also how the time is divided between lecture, labs, and assignments.
Yeah, so essentially every week, Monday through Thursday, you have lectures from I think it was 9:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then after lunch, there's a lab session for one of your courses until around 3:30 p.m. and then Fridays are off. In terms of assignments, I think you'll have assignments roughly once a week per class, and then um, the courses are divided into 6 week blocks. So every 6 week block, you'll have four different courses that you're taking at the same time. And I would say on average, I probably spent around 3 hours studying or working on assignments daily. Um, so yeah, like I think within a day, that was enough time to manage my school work and leave time for personal things as well.
Wonderful. Thank you for the answer. Let me just give an kind of an overview
Mhm.
of a typical day as well. So as Jen mentioned, like classes are scheduled from Monday to Thursday. So these are the 4 days where we have classes from 9:30 in the morning to 12:30 afternoon, and then followed by lab sessions from 1:30 to 3:30. Fridays are generally free of classes, which basically provides students kind of a 3-day weekend for study, working on projects, or spending time on personal activities and so on. Now, during these 4 days, students are introduced with a substantial amount of materials to help them to develop their data science knowledge. On the 3 day without classes, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, students commonly review the materials, work on assignments, lab projects, and other different activities, and so on. So, given that this is a fast-paced 10-month program, so we always encourage students to manage the time properly so that they can actually build their skill that they need for their data science career. I have like a questions on the chat, and like one of the like audiences, they said that I have strong Python programming background. Do you think I'd be a good fit? For the like, I can actually answer this question. Commonly, we have some prerequisite listed on the websites. As long as student made the prerequisite, they are eligible to apply for the program, and they are a good fit for the program. As Jane was mentioning, any additional knowledge, like for instance, if a student are good in Python, good in programming, and so on, it helps them to start the program or like go through the program smoothly. I have one more questions in the chat window, which I can also answer. Can someone with no programming experience be admitted to the MDS program? So as part of the program prerequisite, one of the prerequisite is one course in programming. So it has to be for a credit, like 3 credit course. If you check the website, then you will find that detailed about like what could be the corresponding equivalent of the programming courses. We listed some example programming courses that we commonly offer at UBC Okanagan, and also we listed some courses that are offered at UBC Vancouver. We also listed the program learning objectives. So if you check the website, you will have more information about it. Okay. Thank you. Now I'm going to move to the next question. Um, uh, we all recognize the importance of support available to students as they prepare for their future career, including help with resume writing, interview preparation, and also general career guidance. So one question we have received is whether the program provides support in finding career opportunities. For example, throughout the career related like workshops, or the program offer any, like does the program offer any career related workshops, event, or mentoring program? Jim, over to you.
Yeah. I would say the program definitely provides a lot of support, mostly through um, the program's career advisor, Sonia. She's great. Her job is to organize, well, she does a lot. She organizes workshops and invites guest speakers regularly to share insights on a lot of topics, including how to succeed in the program, for example, how to prep for job search and interviewing, just to list a few. She also organizes a mentorship program where students can be matched with previous MDS alumni who volunteer to be mentors, and that's definitely a great opportunity to make industry connections and to gain insights one-on-one. And not to mention, Sonia herself is a great resource. As a career advisor, she's always there for you to book her for whatever you need, whether it's resume reviews or a mock interview, etc. So in general, I would say, yeah, there's a lot of support there if you need it.
Yes, I think like you summarized it very well. Yes, we do have a dedicated MDS career advisor who oversees career related activities throughout the program. I know she meets students one to one throughout the length of the program. She organizes seminar, workshops, industry talks, and provides support on resume building and then technical interview preparation and other career development and networking related activities. Also, this support is available to students throughout the entire duration of the program to help them prepare with their future career. Um, Now I'm going to move to some question related to the career path. So the question is, after completing the program, what kind of job or role do MDS graduate commonly take on? Like probably you can share your experience, and if you know any other like students from the same cohort in data science or even a past student, feel free to share.
Yeah, sure. So there's definitely a wide mix of jobs that the MDS degree like opens doors to after you graduate. Myself personally, so my role is a data scientist in a consulting role. So those were the roles that I was kind of targeting, data scientist, data consultant. And I've seen other graduates work as data analysts, data engineers. Some are software developers. So yeah, there's a pretty wide kind of umbrella that you can go after when you graduate.
Yeah, like we also have the very similar past experience, like based on students who graduated from the MDS Okanagan program. We saw them in a variety of roles, like as you mentioned, data scientist, data analyst, and then business analyst. Even like we know there are graduates in research engineer positions and so on. And these are actually they work on various sectors, like including government, provincial, federal, and also other, like for instance, finance, healthcare, and so on. We even know that a few graduates are continuing their studies future in the graduate programs, such as PhD in specific programs and so on. So, like as you mentioned, there is a wide variety of path from that the MDS graduates can select and so on. Um, we have the next question is on the lesson or skill that you have gained from the MDS program. So the question is more specifically, what is the most valuable lesson or skill you have gained from MDS?
hmm yeah, I really like this question. I think something that I learned from this program is a big part of being a data scientist is being able to defend your decisions. So in your job, it's your responsibility to choose methods to solve a problem, explain your rationale, and back results with evidence. And before doing MDS, I knew that I didn't have that skill. I remember um, in my last co-op experience in a data analytics role, I built a classification model. And when I was presenting it to a wider group of people, someone asked like why I hadn't tried XYZ techniques. And at the time, I didn't have a good answer because I didn't know, like I didn't have a broader understanding of what was out there. So during MDS, there came a point where I finally had enough foundational knowledge to be able to reflect back on that project and understand the the trade-offs of my approach, how I could have done things differently. And so I think that was my biggest takeaway from the program was really having a strong foundation in techniques and principles and having the ability to justify and defend my analytical decisions.
Wonderful. Well, let me take one question from the audience. And the question is, can someone with a bootcamp or similar experience in data science can apply? There are certain prerequisites for like applying to the program. And like I just shared the link on the chat. So in the prerequisite for the courses, there are three courses, like one on programming, another is on probability and or statistics, and then the third one is calculus or linear algebra. So these are the three course requirement or course prerequisite that we expect, and those are for credits. Like typically those courses that we expect is minimum 3 credit courses on those ones. So as long as like student have these courses taken as a part of their previous program, they can meet the prerequisite for the like prerequisite conditions to apply the data science program. Okay, I can go to the next question that we received from the audience. So the question is, were there opportunities for industry collaboration during the program, such as internships or co-ops? I know that you briefly mentioned it when answering one of the previous questions, but I just wanted to know about.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, there is opportunity for industry collaboration through the Capstone project, which is pretty similar to an internship or co-op role, since you would be working between 30 and 40 hours a week on this, and you get to collaborate with partners from your project's industry company as well. So yeah, it's definitely a good opportunity for that industry collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I can just like summarize or like provide a bit more information. Yes, in the MDS program, a student collaborate with the industry partner on their capstone project, which allow the students to gain practical insight into industry practices, tackle complex and real world program like problems, and refine their analytical and problem solving skill. Additionally, this co-op helps them to establish professional network, also connect with future employer, and better prepare for their successful career in the data science field. We also received question related to the experience with the capstone project. So the specifically the question was, can you describe your experience with the capstone project? What were your typical daily responsibilities?
Yeah, I really liked my capstone project. My project was with Questrade Financial Group, which is a Canadian trading platform, and we were presented with a project to develop a system to detect changes in market risk early to help portfolio managers to minimize losses. So essentially, the system would try to give them information on market state to help them make investment decisions. And so my typical responsibilities were similar to what you might expect at work. So the way that our group set it up was we had daily stand-up meetings in the morning to share individual updates. We scheduled in-person work meetings at least twice a week to work on group deliverables and prep for meetings with the TAs. And we also had a meeting with our clients once a week where we would present our progress and ask for feedback. And then outside of group work, we worked individually on tasks that we would agree to split up. And yeah, overall, I thought it was a really fun and rewarding project. We specifically for our project got to work with some niche statistical models that weren't covered in class, and it was for a financial application, which is something that I didn't have exposure to prior. So it was a really interesting space to learn about.
Yeah, we have a few questions from audience. The first question is, how would you describe campus life at UBC Okanagan?
Um, Yeah, that's a good question. There's definitely a lot going on that you can participate in. There's a bunch of clubs, events are going on all the time. There's also a like graduate student committee who they organize events specifically for graduate students. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to go out and meet other people and just take time off of work and studies. Um, so yeah, I definitely tried to take advantage of that when I could. Um, I saw there's a follow-up question on, should I answer that?
Yeah, there is a follow-up question. Yes, what made you to choose UBC Okanagan instead of the Vancouver campus? So I would like to hear your thought
Sure,
about
yeah.
it.
So there was a couple factors here. One of them, for me personally, was cost of living, since Vancouver is a little expensive. But I heard good things about the Okanagan campus from some friends that I had. They said everyone from Okanagan is like really friendly, and I also knew two alumni from MDS Okanagan who I had worked with in a co-op role, and they spoke really highly of it. They mentioned that since the cohort is a little bit smaller than Vancouver, you kind of can, I guess, have a little like closer interaction with your own peers and the instructors as well. So that is kind of a bonus for your own education. And yeah, I um, Kelowna was definitely like great overall for me. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And also, like one of the things that I would like to highlight that we try to keep our cohort small so that the student can get experience at like close instructional environment. And also, like if students need any help, any information, like as a instructor, they are always like available to provide them the supports and so on. With the small cohort, it is always easy for us to like help with the students once they need it. Um, I have like I'm going to go back to the questions that we actually received during the registration. So the next question is, did your experience in MDS program contribute to your success in obtaining a data science job?
Yeah, I would say it definitely did. So the coursework and the hands-on projects definitely gave me the foundational principles that I wanted from the program. In interviews, it's pretty common to get hypothetical questions testing your decision making and reasoning, and I felt very well prepared coming out of MDS to answer those questions confidently. Also in the workplace, I feel like I transitioned relatively smoothly. I found that a lot of concepts were similar and a lot of material from the program transferred directly to my role. And I would also say that the capstone project was a really big differentiator for me. It definitely strengthened my resume or portfolio, and it came up very often in my interviews. So it gave me a really strong example to be able to showcase my skills.
Like wonderful. Thank you very much for answering this one. Like as I mentioned, yes, the program is kind of dedicated to equip students with the skills that they need to secure a data science position, both in Canada and internationally. We know that majority of our MDS alumni, they work in Canada, but we also have graduates who employed in USA and other different countries as well. Oh, okay, so I'll now move to the last question for this part of the session. And the last question is overall, how was your MDS experience?
Yeah, so I think maybe you can tell from my previous responses, but I would say overall I'm very happy with my MDS experience. I think I got out of it exactly what I was looking for in terms of developing my knowledge and skill set, plenty of project work to demonstrate my abilities, especially the capstone project, and it ultimately did allow me to pivot to data science coming from engineering. And yeah, not only that, there's definitely a lot of other aspects that made the experience so enjoyable. Um, Kelowna itself as a city was really beautiful and I enjoyed being there. Coming from Ontario, it's like very refreshing over there. And all of your classmates, I'm sure, will be very interesting people with diverse backgrounds. And so you'll learn a lot by working together and you'll make a lot of new friends. And that's like definitely something that I really valued from the program, the friends I made.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience. So that's where we actually come to the end of the first part of this session. But before we conclude, I want to thank our guest, Jen, for sharing her experience with us today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We'll now move to the second part of the session, which is the program director Q&A. I know that we have answered a few questions, but if you have any further question, feel free to ask us here. We also have other program co-director Jeff Andrew available here, and we also have our professional program assistants Hoiki available here as well with us today. So we are happy to answer any questions that you have.
Khalad, would this be a good time to turn on Christian's microphone for him to
Sure.
ask?
Like if the attendee want, they can also turn on their microphone and then ask questions directly. I think that would be
Okay.
even better.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, there is one question. Yeah,
Okay, go ahead, Christian.
Hi, how are you? Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions.
sure.
And sorry, I joined a little bit late if you have already talked about this. So my first question is, what is the application process? As in, do you do rolling basis or you just open all the applicants at once? And then second question will go around recommendations letters. How many? And then whom do you prefer them to come from? And then the third question will go around, are there any graduate assistantship positions? Like, do you do any scholarships or then possibility for financial aids outside of the university? And yeah, I think those would be my question. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So the first question is about admission, right? And the processes and so on. For the admission, we have a deadline. I believe right now the deadline is set to January 31st, and students need to specifically international students, they need to submit their application by January 31st. So once they submit their application, we as an MDS team, we started review their applications and so on, and then we made the decision. So that's the typical way of the admission. And like as I mentioned a few times during the session, there are some prerequisite courses, and also there are some other requirement. For instance, like English proficiency, language test results, and like GPA for or the results from the past educational institution and so on. So as long as students meet those criteria, they are eligible to apply. Your second, can you please remind me the second question, please?
The second question was, do you guys give graduate assistantship position or do you have any scholarships around?
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of the graduate assistant position, how it commonly works, the university, they call for different position. Like for instance, it could be teaching assistant, research assistants, and so on. And students are eligible to apply for those and so on. So this is how commonly it works. And also MDS Okanagan, yes, they actually offer scholarship up to a certain values. If you go to the MDS website, there is a page on tuition and financial aid. So if you check the website, you will get more information about the tuition and also the financial aid offer from the UBC Okanagan campus.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then I guess the last question was around recommendation letters.
Around the
and then if I can add another question, I would ask, do you require GMAT or GRE, or is there a process for them to be waived?
Okay. Okay. So, the last question is about English proficiency test scores and so on, right? So for the English proficiency test, let's actually address this one first. English proficiency test, if you again go to the website, you will see that there are different English tests that actually UBC Okanagan campus, they accept and so on. So As long as you met their minimum criteria, the students should be able to apply for those one. And for certain cases, like for instance, if you complete a last degree from an institution where like for instance, from a Canadian institution where actually the instruction delivery is in like English definitely, then commonly the College of Graduate Studies, they review the English requirement and they waive their requirement in some cases and so on. So yes, they have like for English language requirement, I would suggest you to just check the website because there are many variety of options available there. Probably, like, can you remind me the other question? I think you had one more questions.
Oh, it was recommendation letters. How many?
Recommendation
And then
letter. Yes,
yes.
it's a very good question. Sorry to forget to address about it. So the recommendation letter right now, it's actually one recommendation letter. Uh, we um, mm, we need from the applicant, and commonly we expect that it would be from their like academia, like prior academia and so on. But in the past, we also see that it can be from industry as well, and we also value the recommendation letter from industry as well. So it could be from academia or it could be professional. Do you have
Thank you
any
very much.
question or any other follow-up, Christian?
No, thank you very much.
Okay. Is there any other question?
Hello, can you hear me, Khalad?
Yes.
Sorry, I think there's one question from there is a message saying someone asking the college does not use official email addresses. They use personal email IDs to communicate. I'm afraid from our understanding, it still must be submitted from an official email address. So even if the letter of recommendation has an official letterhead or signed, have the signature, you still need to, we'll verify it based on whether it's from an official email address. And I hope that answered the question.
Thank you very much for answering this question, Hoki. So, like, Hoki is the professional program assistant for our Master of Data Science program. Any other questions for us, for the MDS Okanagan team?
We have another verbal question, Khalad. So I'm just
Sure.
going to turn on their microphone there.
Okay, sure.
All right, please go ahead.
All right, so my question is regarding GRE scores. Is it required for the program?
Like English like as a like there are on the website it specifically says that students they also need to meet the English language requirement and so on. So there could be like different options, and all the options are actually available on the website. So I'm going to share it on the chat window. So you can have a look and get detailed information about the English language requirement. Let's see if I can type it somewhere here.
So I was talking about GRE, the GRE test score.
Jerry, we don't explicitly mention it. So, like for instance, if someone only has IELTS and if they met their requirement, then they can apply or they are eligible to apply. So GRE is not a mandatory for us.
All right, thank you.
Lindsay, I just shared the link for some reason. I don't know like how actually to share this information, but I just directly shared a link to you so that you can actually share it to the student. This link specifically discuss about the English proficiency requirements for the admission and so on.
You bet. I just put it in the chat there to everyone in the session. And if anyone else has any more questions for Khalad, please raise your hand or type them into the Q&A.
So it seems that we don't have any further questions. I don't see anything on the chat window. So at this point, I'd like to conclude the session. I'd like to remind you again that there are upcoming events, including we have other live sessions with the MDS Okanagan team. Please check the UBC Master of Data Science website for the dates and details. And also, if you have any further question, feel free to reach out to us at MDS UBC Okanagan. Thank you all for joining us today.